Well, Mats, it's a pleasure to meet you and have this opportunity to recognise your achievement in winning this year's award as Outstanding Case Teacher, and to have some fun and talk a little bit about your experience as a case teacher. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little bit about what it is that so inspires you as a case teacher.
Well, first of all, I would like to say my heartfelt thank you for the award. I feel so honored, and this has been a very big thing for me personally, but maybe more importantly also for our school in Lund. But what really engages me when it comes to case teaching is probably, I think I share this with all case teachers, it's the real world challenge brought into the classroom. I think that sums it up really nicely. And, you know, I just absolutely love to see how groups of participants engage, they work together, they face a tricky problem, and then they try to find ways to solve that problem and together come up with some sort of solution that, you know, hopefully would work. And of course, as a teacher, you know, it's such a joy to see how people learn together. It's like, you know, people coming together, all that brain power, Siri connected, like a lot of batteries coming together, and you have that energy in the room. That's simply wonderful.
So how do you make that coming together happen? What is the secret of successful case teaching?
I think the secret is probably to put and place yourself in action mood, and to get the group in action mood. And action mood is something, an idea that is quite often used by my esteemed colleague and good friend, and I must say mentor when it comes to case teaching and case writing, Professor Gracier from Harvard Business School. He speaks often about action mood. And to me, action mood is to be there, to take the true role that you are personally facing this problem. You and your team are here and you have to solve this. You have to sort out the situation the best you can and listen to comments from people around you. That is action mood. You should not speak about the company they or the organization they. No, it's I and we. I think that is absolutely essential. And I mean, of course, when you work with students, but I also work with in executive education situation, you have to create a friendly atmosphere. I think this is very important because the way I work, I try to challenge the students and the participants. But to challenge the students and to kind of move them outside their comfort zone, you have to first establish some basic rules of engagement. So we're here to learn, we're all friends, and let's do this together. And without that, I think the challenge part is difficult to have in class, to have that true action mood. So for example, sometimes I ask, you know, we have a case and I can ask the person, okay, would you like to take the role as the CEO of this company? And then you have now a few minutes to address your organization. There is always this kind of sign, okay, no, please not. Then I let the question go to somebody else. All right, so that's part of the rules of engagement in my courses. This actually rarely happens, but when it happens, then I always back off right away. But then that kind of challenge to speak in front of your colleagues, your friends, I think that actually makes people grow a lot and makes a great experience in the classroom. Yeah, I don't know if that's a secret, but that's the way I try to do it.
It sure as heck sounds fantastic to me. I'd love to sit in one of your classes. I can still remember the first time I saw a case being taught in a class, and the buzz and the engagement from the students, and the synchronicity between the students and the teacher was just something magical.
It is, yeah.
Now, this is something that your school is engaged with at the moment, because you're hoping to build a culture of case-based teaching and case writing at Lund. How is that aspiration being nurtured and delivered? Could you tell me, because many schools want to start adopting the case method more strongly, and
Right.
how's it going at Lund?
Let me put it this way. It's a bit like you have a big oil tanker and you shift the rudder 2 degrees and nothing really happens. And after a while, the rudder gets contact in the water and you have a slight shift in the course, right? Of the big tanker. I think there are quite a few challenges for us. In Lund, it is true that we have a long and fine tradition of case-based research, but we do not have the tradition of writing cases. And case teaching, yes, but publishing cases, no. And I think the challenge is really faculty, you know, how to actually work with cases and accept that the idea that you can actually bridge theory and practice with the help of cases. That's not obvious for everyone. There are other things that actually are hinders, and that could be like, if you publish a case, is that worth as much as publishing a fine paper? So, and of course there are fundings, and we always speak about funding, but that's such a boring topic, but still I think it's an important one. And then if you don't have it from the top, you don't have it. So in our school, and I think people listen to this, they probably would recognize this, and then I think you need a small coalition of people who have seen the light, you know, a bit like in the Blues Brothers. I've seen the light and working, and then to grow that enthusiasm and energy more into the organization. And I'm very happy to say that this is happening at our school. The tanker has shifted course, and slowly but surely, we are actually getting there.
Well, that's terrific to know, and I wish you all every success in that. Now, have you any experience personally of teaching cases in a hybrid or online classrooms? And is there anything, if you have, is there anything that you could share with other teachers who are faced with that same challenge in these days of COVID and lockdown?
I'm smiling. I'm really smiling because, I mean, weren't we all kind of thrown into this? This is like more than a year ago. You know, you have to kind of set up your own little studio in your office. You have to kind of sort out the technical stuff and so on. Yeah, sure. I have done quite a lot of teaching using the digital media, for sure. And I threw myself into it. And I was surprised how well it actually worked. And there is a lot to learn, of course. But one thing that I have seen that works actually, to my surprise, I have to say, very well is the classic cold call. So you have all these nice faces on the screen, and then you just pick a person. Now, why does this surprise me? Because typically the cold call is maybe not so appreciated, but I've heard from my participants and students saying that, Mats, this is actually very good. We like this. And it's a good thing because it keeps the momentum up. That's one thing. So don't underestimate the cold call. That's the first. The second one, I would probably say that the second one would be using breakout rooms. And the breakout room, that's a great idea because it is difficult to have the free discussion, at least initially, right? So what I do is to say, okay, here's the case, we talk about the case, here are some questions, let's have a discussion. You have 10 minutes in the breakout rooms, and you kind of randomly select people into the rooms, which is actually a good idea because people meet, right? And then afterwards, you ask team number, let's say 3, what's your view? And then team number 8, what's your view? Followed by a discussion, free discussion. And that keeps, again, the momentum up in the discussion, because all these awkward silence and nobody's daring to voice their opinions and so on, that really is not nice, right? So those are a few things that I use. So the cold call, the breakout rooms, those are 2 good things.
Do you think you might keep some of the online experience, even when we're free and able to go back into the classroom again?
Absolutely, absolutely. So for instance, inviting live case people, that is now possible in a way that has maybe not been possible earlier on, in the old days, if I may say so. So you can have people, busy people, maybe in a different time zone, maybe in a different country. You invite them to class and you say, here we have a case, a live case, and they come into the classroom, and that actually works just fine. So that is absolutely one thing that I will keep.
Well, Mats, thank you very much for sharing your insight into case teaching. The award is looking very special, reflecting in the Swedish sun.
I polish it every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, and congratulations again. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.